All right, so phase 2. This one, like I said, it goes a little bit faster here during phase 2. So during your workout, we're talking fitness-specific nutrition before, during, after your workout. During your workout, again, you're going to use all of the food, the stored glycogen. You're going to use the protein that you ate the day before to start that recovery process. It's going to start happening as you're breaking down and micro tearing your muscle fiber. And so, having an adequate amount of protein the day before helps you during your workout, okay, to sustain energy, strength, right? So how does that protein really affect the speed, the endurance, the strength? It's in the real-time recovery, okay? I teach Maxwell like this, okay? I teach Maxwell about protein because they're obsessed with kids camp. We started a kids camp here in the Lake Norman area. It is our very first brick and mortar kids camp, and they love it. I know, Trisha, your kids have gone too. They love it. They're obsessed. You know what they do now? They come home constantly. What do? Show me their muscles.
I love it.
They just come home and they just flex on me every day, like, Dad, feel this one. And then they'll make me show my muscles. They'll make me do the peck bounce.
A little dance.
The peck dance. And they'll make me show them, and they'll compare. Yes, here's our Instagram for that. Okay, we have my kids, Trisha's kids, they're all going to kids camp. They're all obsessed with it. We teach them at the end of kids camp what protein is, what carbohydrates are, what fats are, what macronutrients are. Fitness and nutrition, that's our bread and butter. We're teaching kids to fall in love with fitness and nutrition. I explain to Max and Ryan protein the same way. I'll explain it to you here. Protein is built of amino acids. Amino acids themselves are like construction workers that are inside of the muscle fiber. The reason it's called a fiber is because it's long, but it's really the same thing as a muscle cell. They're little amino acids that get inside the muscle cell, and they work like construction workers, taking all the parts that are inside of that cell, putting them together, and building back that one cell stronger than it was before. That's why protein's important. That's why complete protein is important. And that's why I have the 24-hour recommendation, is because you need to get that ideal body weight of grams in protein every single 24-hour period, even if you're running late. Okay? So protein repairs the muscle micro tears, preserves strength, preserves speed, endurance. Without it, that recovery process starts slower. Muscle mass is going to drop over time, and your performance will fade, okay? But that's really not, Trisha, what we're talking about when we say, what do we eat during a workout? It's definitely, in my humble opinion, is not Sour Patch Kids. It's not Sour Patch Kids.
Thank goodness.
Especially if you're doing a 45 to 90-minute hypertrophy workout. If you're working out for longer than 90 minutes, then you're probably either a professional bodybuilder, which if you want to eat Sour Patch Kids, go ahead and do your thing. I'm not going to tell you how to fuel yourself for your professional bodybuilding competitions. Or you're an endurance runner. Go ahead, do your thing. You guys are the 1% of cutting and the 1% of bulking. We're talking about body recomposition for the general public. Yeah. And I'm not going to recommend those things for the general public. But so carbs aren't like this secret weapon, okay, during a workout. What is hydration. I know I've been there where my hydration's not good. I have a timing issue. My biggest issue is timing. Finding time to get it all in. So sometimes I'll find myself dehydrated during a workout. And that's not good. You ever been dehydrated during a workout?
Oh, 100%.
It's the worst.
It's terrible. It's a terrible feeling to feel dehydrated. I was just on vacation, and I feel like most people can relate to this. When I'm out of my daily routine, I don't have my water bottle with me, and I carry my safety water bottle, right? And I was feeling so dehydrated. I worked out at, shout out, Burn Boot Camp, Laguna Niguel, and I was so dehydrated. Thank goodness. I bought some Replenish while I was there because I was like, I got to get this on track, because if you feel like crap.
Yeah, definitely feel like crap. And who wants to feel like crap during their workout? I certainly don't. As long as your nutrition was good the day before, and then you're like, hey, I don't feel good during my workout. Here's what I'll tell you, is that 90% of the time, that is because you are dehydrated. Even a 2% dehydration, okay? A 2% dehydration can fundamentally change the way that you perform. Chelsea, I want you to chat GPT, how does hydration affect the metabolism in severe, moderate, and normal scenarios. Let's type that in. I want to see what ChatGPT has to say about this. ChatGPT, by the way, just released ChatGPT 5, and it is a great tool for you guys to use. It's a great tool for you to use to track your nutrition. What I do is I just take a picture of my food and I put it right into ChatGPT. It will automatically tell me my macros. I take a picture of all my food every day. I put it in at the end of the day, and it calculates my calories and my macros for me. So the question is, how does hydration on a severe, on a moderate, and a base case, how does it impact your metabolism? Okay? Ask it to now summarize this in one sentence. Because I know for a fact, even if I'm a little dehydrated, I can feel it. But if I'm severely hydrated, gosh, I just don't feel right. I don't feel right.
If you're severely dehydrated.
Yeah, if I'm what I say, hydrated?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm severely hydrated, I don't feel right. You get that left eye that starts twitching a little bit.
Well, your mouth is dry.
Yeah. And you could be like, and what do we do, Trisha? Like, as human beings, when we mistake hunger for hydration or for thirst so often, don't we?
That is such a big. Once I learned that changed the game for me, and I tell my kids that too because they're like, I want a snack. I'm like, no, you need to go drink that water bottle, finish it, and then if you're still hungry afterwards, then let's talk about it. But yes, I think that's a huge thing that people can learn from. You're probably just thirsty.
All right, so let's go to show this screen here. It says hydration directly affects the metabolism. We all know this. I know there's studies that will show if you're dehydrated, and you get hydrated based on some quantifiable measurement of those two terms. Once you're dehydrated, then you get hydrated. Your metabolism can increase by 30% in severely dehydrated people. So 30% more effective just from becoming hydrated alone. And Diet Coke, by the way, and beer, just because it's made with 90% water, 95% water, it does not count. Okay, it does not count. So with normal hydration, you'll support optimal calorie burning and nutrient use. With moderate dehydration, you're going to start to slow fat oxidation already, just with moderate dehydration. Your energy efficiency is going to be impacted. And if you're severely dehydrated, you're going to push the body into a stress state that significantly reduces metabolic function. So I want you to ask yourselves this question, everybody. All right? Are you ready for it? Here's the question I want you to ask yourself. Anytime you get hungry, I want you to ask yourself, am I dehydrated? Have I drank my body weight in ounces of water yet? If the answer is no, I want you to have 20, 30, 40 ounces of water before you eat. Mm-hmm. Watch how those hunger hormones are impacted. Watch how your mental state is impacted just from hydration alone, all right? And during your workout, here's the caveat. During your workout, I want you to find, which is why we created Replenish, Trisha mentioned it earlier, I want you to find a complete electrolyte supplement to put in your water during your workout so that you can replenish those depleted stores, electrolyte stores right away, okay?
I also think a good thing and I'm just going to shout out Replenish again because I truly do I feel like I just carry fruit punch Replenish with me everywhere because water isn't tasty, right? There's no taste to it. So when I'm craving something sweet and I know I'm dehydrated and feeling dehydrated, there's nothing better than drinking fruit punch Replenish because it kind of satisfies that sweet tooth too. And yeah, it's a story that I'm telling myself, but it works. So shout out to Replenish.
Hydrated. Stay hydrated. It's the one thing that I think people underestimate more than anything else in nutrition. Okay, so if you're going to take anything away from this so far, there's really two things that overnight fasting the night before to repair your body so that you can be ready for a workout, whether you take a small dose of simple carbohydrates before your workout or you train fasted, is the most important thing you can do before a workout after you've gotten your calories and your protein goals in for the day before, Okay. And then secondarily is making sure that on a daily basis, the day before especially, that you are hydrated and then put electrolytes in your water during your workout. That's basically the summary of what we're saying so far. Does it make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. Phase number 3. Let's go to phase 3.